Today, I'm going to share with you 32 skills that guarantee success and happiness. I've been collecting these for years, researching, studying, working with successful people, reading their biographies. This is the entire basis for a book that I'm writing right now that's soon to be released. I'll give you more details about it later, but let's get started, jumping in. I'm going to go in reverse order so that you can kind of get it as we go up the stack, okay? Number 32, visioning and long-term orientation. There's an old philosophy that says the longer you can plan ahead and prepare for, the more likely you are to succeed at something. So for example, let's say that you wanted to lose 10 pounds. If you only have 30 days to do it, it's going to be really painful and difficult. If you take a year to do it, you're going to just knock it out of the park easily, right? So it makes sense. Or if you want to save a whole bunch of money, it's hard to do in the short term, but it's much easier to do over a decade, 2 or 3, 4 decades, right? Makes sense. Number 31, skepticism and humility. Why skepticism and humility? Well, holding really strong views and just clinging to an idea as the only truth is almost certainly going to prove long-term not to be right. There are some things that are true, like we can pretty much predict gravity is fairly true, but public opinion, ideas, politics, these kinds of things, they're going to change and ebb and flow over time. So you want to hold strong views, sure, but do your research and keep learning from multiple sources and hold it lightly. Hold it strongly, but lightly. Like you can hold an egg and you can have a very strong arm, but you don't crush the egg, right? You don't want to do that. So have some skepticism and some humility. Number 30, delayed gratification and impulse control. What does that look like? Well, they did a test, and they've actually repeated this multiple times, called the marshmallow test, where they put the kid in the room, they put a marshmallow on the table, and the researcher says, hey, I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. If you don't eat that marshmallow right there, I'll give you a second one when I come back. But if you eat the one that's on the table now in front of you, then you don't get the second one. And they've been able to track long-term life success, satisfaction, health, and well-being, and financial success to whether the child ate the marshmallow while the researcher was out or whether they had the self-control and the delayed gratification to wait. Another example of that, if you get a big check, put it in the bank, invest it wisely with someone who knows what they're doing, and don't spend it all. Sure, take 10% and spend it. But bottom line is that if you delay the gratification of spending it, like don't go blow it on a car if you get a big check. Instead, take 10%, do something fun with it, go on vacation, what have you, but 90% of it away, of course, after taxes. So that's delayed gratification. Works like a charm. It's going to really make a huge difference in your life. Number 29, leadership and followship agility. What does that mean? That sounds like a really strange term. What it means is develop the ability and the skills of learning how to lead other people in a healthy, successful way. There's all sorts of courses you can take online about that. But also be a good follower, right? If you are having conflict with a leader of the team, then at an employment or any other place in your life, they're not going to want you on there, and that's going to make your life less successful. So learn how to be a leader and learn how to be a follower. They're both important. Used to be that you would have the military service for most men back in the day when there's conscription. And you learned because they forced you to learn how to follow. And they also taught you how to lead other men, other people, right? We no longer have that. So we've kind of lost that. Sports is a really good way to learn that as well. So being part of a team, learn to lead and to follow. Huge. Number 28, cultural intelligence and a global mindset. What does that mean? Well, cultural intelligence means fluidity. So for example, if you are of a particular religion, but someone is of another religion, you might want to be respectful of their holidays. Wish them well. You might want to understand that they eat a different food than you do. Have a bigger perspective than just our own perspective, right? Because let's face it, even if you're an American and listen to this, we're only 6% of the world population. That means that 94% of the rest of the world does stuff differently. Doesn't make them wrong, better, worse, good, bad. It's just different. And so having that respect and that mindset is going to put you way ahead of everybody else who doesn't have that. Okay. Number 27, digital literacy and information hygiene. That's a weird one, right? What does digital literacy mean? Well, what it means is knowing how to spot misinformation, having a good BS detector, being able to understand how do I validate a source, what are good sources, and again, being very careful of the concept of myopia, which is that we narrow our vision. Google gives you more of what you search for. YouTube gives you more of what you search for. It begins to narrow what you're seeing, and over time, it curates just what it thinks you want. So it will keep you on there longer and have you see more of what you think you should be seeing. That doesn't mean it's accurate. It doesn't mean it's right, because the world is much bigger than we think it is. There's much more information. For example, I listen to BBC India sometimes. Why? Well, it's in English, so that's helpful for me. And also because it gives me an entirely different worldview than the one I typically get from other news sources. So curate your news, have a wider perspective, listen to opposing views, and really fill your mind with multiple perspectives, because that multi-perspectival way of seeing the world makes you smarter, wiser, and helps you be more successful. Number 26, mind-body integration practices. So mind-body integration practices. What is that? That's like yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, other somatic awareness skills. We'll get to that one later as well. But other things that help you get in touch with your body and align your body with your mind, right? We call them mind-body, but they're inseparable, because you can't have a body without a mind, and you can't have a mind without a body. So it's just a coin of phrase. But the fact of the matter is, do things that ground you and center you in your body, right? Navy SEALs do it, athletes do it, actors do it, successful business people do it. You should do it. I do it. It's wonderful. You'll enjoy it. It feels good, and it makes you smarter, healthier, and hopefully happier in life. Okay. Number 25, self-compassion and inner dialogue mastery. There's a really great book that says what to say when you talk to yourself, because the idea here is that most of the thoughts in your head that are running when you're not listening to them, they're just running in the background. Most of them are someone else's thoughts, someone else's ideas, a parent, a teacher, a politician, someone famous, any of those other people, right? We're constantly running a stream of other people's thoughts in our heads, and we don't notice it. So what you want to do is have sort of a mental hygiene and self-compassion. Look, if someone said you were a loser when you were a kid, you may hear that sometimes when you want to go do something. If someone said, you'll never win, you'll never make it, you may hear that from time to time. Maybe it was an uncle or an aunt or a school teacher or a bully or someone else that said you were something negative. That's just their thoughts. There's 8 billion people on the planet. There's a lot of thoughts out there. Curate your thinking. If you don't like it, say, that's not true. There's a guy named Dr. Daniel Amen, and he called them ants, automatic negative thoughts. And you can crush the ants, which maybe isn't the best visual, but you can crush those thoughts by saying, that's not true. I don't believe it. That's BS. What I believe about myself is, and then insert positive idea. Okay? So that's a wonderful one. I do that for myself, because we have to have self-compassion. Most of the thoughts in our head, we didn't put there. Other people did when we were young. And so watch your inner dialogue and curate it, correct it, improve it, and add in positive stuff for you. Okay, next, number 24, negotiation and influence with integrity. So I think influence with integrity is really important. Negotiation is also important. And you put the two together, it's a powerhouse. So negotiation is the ability to ask for what you want, work with the other person or entity to get a middle ground or to get more of what you want or as much as you want with integrity. And operating and influencing with integrity is really important. Why? Well, we can all play the bad boy or bad girl. We can all go manipulate people. That's not the best thing to do. Instead, be yourself, be honest, be fair, be upright, work hard for what you want, ask for what you want, push for what you want, and do it with integrity. Because 6 months down the line, a year down the line, if someone finds out that you acted out of integrity, it's really hard to get character back once it's been smudged. So number 23, moral imagination and ethics. Projecting onto others' experience builds trust and sustainable choices. What does that mean? What you want to be able to do is have the moral imagination that someone else is acting in their best interest. Here's the best example that most people that live in big cities have. You're in traffic, someone cuts you off, and you think, that jackass just cut me off. I'm really angry. I want to honk my horn or whatever. I'm really upset. No, maybe that person is on their way to their grandmother's in the hospital on her deathbed. Maybe they just found out that their dog was hit by a car. Maybe they've been a little late from work because they were helping their neighbor with something, and now they don't want to lose their job or get docked on their pay. So have the moral imagination and ethics to give other people the grace you would want when you screw up or I screw up, right? So give that to other people and just have that imagination that they are having a situation that they really needed to do something and they just went ahead and did it, and that's okay. Let it be. As Mel Robbins says, just let them and move on with your life. It's not worth thinking about. I'll tell you what is worth thinking about though, and it's number 22, which is systems thinking. So thinking about thinking or talking about thinking is systems thinking. So if we look at a tree small enough, we just see a single leaf, but we don't understand the whole tree is a living system. So it requires the bark, the endothelium, the core of the tree, the roots, mitochondria in the cells of the tree, the fungus around the roots, the water, all the different bacteria that help feed it, and everything else that happens to the tree, the pollination of the flowers that gives us the fruit. It's an entire system that operates inside of a larger system. Everything in the world is a system within a system within a system. It's sort of like, those little Russian dolls where you keep opening it up and there's more systems inside. There's more dolls, right? That's what systems thinking is. If we can take a larger perspective and understand the interconnectedness between things and between systems, we begin to understand that everything influences everything else. So it's not just one decision. When we do something that harms our health or harms the system someplace else or hurts the planet or whatever, it has lots of knock-on second order and third order effects. So you want to be really careful to use smart system thinking that advances what you're trying to do rather than degrades it. Okay, so those are the first 10 life skills that guarantee success and happiness when you put all 32 together. All right, number 21. And you can tell I'm having fun with this because I love this stuff. It's so amazing. It's like these hidden gems in the world, and we get to uncover them and add them to the quality of our life. So next is time management and prioritization. So if you prioritize, meaning you make things in an order that's most important to least important, then what happens is you're doing the most effective and valuable things first. There's an old saying that says, eat the frog first in the morning. In other words, what does that mean? Nobody wants to eat a frog. It sounds disgusting, especially if it's uncooked, right? But the bottom line is that you do the hardest things first. So if you have a list of 12 things on your day and the 2 most important things are first and they're hardest, put them first, get them done, knock them out, and the rest of your day is going to be a breeze. If you put them last and say, I'll get to it later, then what happens is they probably won't get done. And you're going to go, oh my God, I blew my day, and now they're on the list for tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Do the hard things first. Now, there's also another secondary benefit for that, which is that doing hard things builds your brain neurology, makes your brain stronger, adds resilience, makes you anti-fragile, and gives you the capacity to try new things. The more new things you try, the easier it is to try new things. The more hard things you try, the easier it is to try hard things. So you're building mental muscle the whole time. Okay, so number 20, resilience and post-traumatic growth. Really simply, resilience, it's sort of like your ability to bounce back. When you're young, you have lots of resilience, you bounce back. You want to increase your resilience over life, not decrease it. So I encourage you to look up the idea of how do I build resilience in my life. We can do a whole video on it for you later. The second part of that is post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth means when I get my ass kicked or something happens, I learn. Did you know that when you break a bone, it becomes stronger in the place of the break once it's healed? So that is a perfect example of post-traumatic growth and resilience together. Number 19, forgiveness and letting go. Man, the best thing I ever heard about forgiveness was this. You don't forgive someone else for them. You forgive someone else for you, right? It releases you from the pain and the trauma and the loss and everything else. So forgive them, let them go. Remember what they did, but move on for you so you can go forward and have a beautiful life. All right, number 18, gratitude and awe training. Now, I didn't put those together. Gratitude and awe I love, but the training part, I'm like, what? You can actually train yourself to have deeper appreciation, thankfulness, gratitude, and awe at just being alive, right? There's plenty of places to do that online. I just want to say this is super important and will radically change how you feel about yourself and life. It's a beautiful thing. Number 17, financial literacy and resource stewardship. What does that mean? Don't blow your money. Don't blow your resources. Be conservative with your finances and wise with your investment and spending. Okay? Super important. Again, lots of classes on that. There's a guy named Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Highly recommend you go read that. It's a great way to learn about the basics and fundamentals before you get started with finances and resource stewardship. Number 16, storytelling and narrative intelligence. I've already told you a bunch of stories here today. It's a perfect example of the value of storytelling. To the extent you can tell stories, do it. People love stories, and they love the ability to spin a narrative and to be able to put something in a context where you understand it and remember it better. Number 15, creativity and divergent thinking. Humans are the most creative things we can think of in the universe so far, right? I mean, it's like, look at the creativity of humanity. Go to any museum, go to any mall or store, look online on Amazon. That's all creativity. Enhance your creativity. You have ideas, thoughts, things you want to do. Be creative, and then let your thinking diverge. Learn from other sources that are unusual to you, not known to you, and learn from many perspectives that'll increase your capacity. Number 14 is playfulness and humor. I think humor is one of the best things in life. If you're not laughing, you're not living the right life. And yes, there's times when you don't laugh. Someone's sick, someone dies, these things. There's difficult times in life. Yes, absolutely. And sometimes dark humor helps us get through it. I remember a cancer patient who I knew just was always cutting jokes about his cancer. And you know what? He survived. So that's a good thing. Maybe laughter is the best medicine after all. Number 13, curiosity and beginner's mind. I can't tell you enough about this one, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit for now. Curiosity is so important. Follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole. Learn about things you're excited about. Deepen your curiosity and then have the beginner's mind. Always be open to anything new. Most of the things that were thought to be true 150 years ago have been found out to maybe need improvement on their thinking. And so have the beginner's mind, the white belt mind in martial arts, and always be open to new learning. Number 12, adaptability and anti-fragility. Adaptability is so key. Look, the world's changing. Everything's moving faster. There's robotics, there's AI, there's all these crazy things happening. The world has changed so much in the past couple of decades. They expect more change in the next decade than we've seen in the last 50 years. So you've got to be adaptable. You've got to be anti-fragile. Look that word up. It's a great one. You've got to be anti-fragile. And you can build that like building a muscle. It's a mental, emotional, and spiritual and psychological muscle. And you can build it. And the stronger you get, the better you get. And number 11, purpose, value, and pro-social contribution. What does that mean? The more you have a purpose in life, the stronger your purpose internally, whether it is to plant apple trees or to become a stockbroker or to make a difference in the world for starving children or to fight climate change or whatever it is your big issue. The more you're on your purpose, the happier you are, the more successful you are, the more meaningful your life becomes. And that is the enshrinement of your personal values into your actions in the world and what you become. We're coming down to the Big 10. And these Big 10 are game changing. I'm going to go through them now. And these are the best. Number 10, sense making and critical thinking. It's very difficult to make sense of complex things. And oftentimes we make up stories or we listen to what some politician or some podcaster says, since I'm one of them, you listen to what some podcaster says, you should be thinking. I say, think for yourself. Learn how to make sense of things. Learn how to look deeper into the roots of things. Learn how to look broader and get other perspectives. Because the more perspectives you have, you're far better than just one eye seeing the world. Okay? So sense making. Then critical thinking is really important. Think critically. I encourage you right now to go to Google and look up, give me 10 ways I can think more critically about life, about money, about happiness and joy, whatever it is that you're after. Ask Google for better ideas on critical thinking. We're going to teach you some more later, but for now, that's it. Number 9, this is weird, interoception and embodiment. The first time I came across the word, I had to look up interoception. I had no idea what it meant. It means sensing internal signals, your breath, your heart rate. Have you ever found yourself tense and tight and your blood pressure's up and you're feeling upset or something like that? Your body is giving you signals that something is wrong in the world. So pay attention to how your body feels. Pay attention to how your energy feels. Pay attention to your intuition. These things will serve you. Our modern society tells us to ignore these things. The heck with your feelings, the heck with your body, the heck with your heart rate and your breathing and the tightness in your gut and your upsettedness. Just keep doing your job. I'm here to tell you no. I'm here to tell you to pay attention to those things. They're key to your success and happiness in life. Number 8, energy management. And these are big. These are so big. Sleep. Movement, nutrition, sunlight, they're all so important. Number 1 is sleep. If you're not getting enough sleep, stop everything, rearrange your calendar, get 8 hours of sleep every single night. You absolutely need it. We're going to talk more about that. We have a whole course on it later on. But for now, get it 8 hours of sleep every single day and get it at the same time of day. It's key. Movement, you got to move your body. You don't move your body, you lose your body, right? You don't move your body, you lose your body. Remember that one. Nutrition, you got to eat healthy. You got to put healthy things in your body. You become what you eat. So eat carefully. And by the way, we've all been told to be afraid of the sun. No, you need bright early morning sunlight. Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about this at length. You can look him up. Andrew Huberman, he has this big thing about sunlight in the morning. It's massive for your brain and your well-being. Number 7, habit and environment design. Your house, your life, the things you do are all influencing you all the time. It's a constant feedback loop. If you have healthy food, your body is healthy. If you sleep well, you've got more energy and your brain is better. If you're exercising, you're stronger, you're more fit, you're more capable. You create the environment that puts those things into your life and your life becomes better. So curate your habits and your environments. Develop and build and keep good habits and a healthy environment, and you're on a fast track to success. Number 6, this is one of my favorites. Learning agility, learning how to learn. And this is on top of becoming a lifetime learner. I'm sorry, but we're not in the 1940s or 50s where things were pretty streamlined and easy and straightforward. We're in a world that's going to be more chaotic and have a lot more change. You're going to have to adapt. And the key to adapting is learning. So you've got to keep learning. You've got to make a deliberate practice of constantly learning about the things that are going on in the world and about how to improve your life and maintain yourself and your family and your organization and everything else. So constant learning, and be flexible in your learning, but know that that's just the story of success from now on, is constant learning and learning how to learn. Number 5, high-fidelity communication. If you can't ask for it, you can't have it. That's what an English teacher said to me in college. Actually, she said, if you can't ask a girl out on a date, you ain't going to get one. And I was like, oh, got to be brave, got to learn how to ask, got to say hello, right? Those kinds of things. Listen, think, speak, right? If you don't know about it, go look up Toastmasters. Go to Toastmasters for at least a year. Go at least 52 times. It'll change your life. Learn how to speak, learn how to write, learn how to present, because that's really important. People who do that make more money, are more successful, get more from life, and are happier. And you can too. Number 4, secure relating. I'm like, what is secure relating? Well, that's having empathy for other people so that you're not in resistance with what's going on in life and what they're doing. It's about having boundaries with people who will try and take advantage of you. And it's about being able to repair relationships when they're broken or you have a mistake that you've made with someone else, right? Whether you said something wrong or you forgot their birthday or whatever, you need to learn how to have healthy relationships, have empathy for others, have strong, firm, reasonable boundaries, and be able to repair when you screw up. And now, drum roll, we're at the top 3, the big 3, that are going to maintain you in your life. They're going to give you the most options for success and happiness and well-being. These 3, you master these 3, and then you go after the others, okay? So number 3, attention and focus control. There is a ton of blizzard, a volcanic fountain of stuff coming at us in the modern world, from social media, from the internet, from work, from everything else. To the extent that you can focus and maintain control over your mind and what you want to get and what you're doing, you can be, do, and have what you want in the world. If you let someone else take your focus and your time and your intention, you're just going to lose decades of your life and you will never get what you want. So you've got to have attention, focus, and control over what you're doing and where you're going. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? What does it take? How do I do it? Who can help me get there? Those are some of the most important questions for attention, focus, and control. Number 2, emotional regulation and stress mastery. Wow, these are huge, right? Because if you're an emotional wreck, you cannot do any of the other things, right? You've got to be able to regulate your emotions. You've got to regulate your energy. You've got to know how to reduce your stress. We have an entire course on how to do those things. If you want it, ping me down below. I will make sure you get it. But the fundamental truth is this: if you are not in control of your emotions, then they are in control of you. And you cannot get what you want. Number 1, this is it. This is the biggie. It's called Meta-Cognition and Self-Awareness. You've got to be able to stop once in a while, look at yourself in the mirror, look at your life, look at what's happening, understand where you are now, where you want to go, and take assessment, take accounting of what you're doing. How am I thinking? How am I feeling? What am I doing? Am I on track? Am I able to get what I want? Do I need help? Do I need therapy? What do I need? What do I need to get rid of? What do I need more of? You've got to take time to have this metacognition of your whole life and your own patterns, your thoughts and behaviors. If you don't once a week do that, you're likely to just get washed away with the momentum of life. So I recommend Monday night, if that's your night, or Tuesday night. I have a time that I sit down and do that with myself. I even journal about it. I write about it. I think about it. I'll go for a walk sometimes. This is so key. Metacognition and self-awareness. Have an awareness of yourself, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, where you're going, what you're doing, and is it working? If you're not manifesting in the world what you think you should be manifesting, what you're trying to manifest, then something is amiss, and we need to go back through some of these other skills and get them dialed in and locked in and reinforced. So that's the 32. They're absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is the foundation of my book, The Human Optimization Stack. I'm in the process of writing it now. If you really like this list of 32, go ahead down below and say, I want the list, and I'll make a checklist for you. But I got to have enough people do it so that I put it together for you. So if we get enough people down below saying, I want the list in the comments, I'll make the list for you. But in the meantime, like, please, subscribe, please, and give me a thumbs up on this video, because this is one of my favorite videos that we've done so far, and I'm very excited to share this material with you. Like I said, we're making the book. You're going to love it. Let's go get it. Have a beautiful day.